Okay, I'm Blaze, and I'm going to tell you the practical applications as well as the mystical applications of the hood and the staff. It is very common to see magical practitioners in a hood as well as carrying a staff. Questions why? Well, let's think of the practical applications first. Back in the olden days, they didn't have umbrellas. They wore hoods because it protected their head against the elements, from the cold, from the rain, etc., from the wind. Now, however, there is also the magical application of them. The hood was used spiritually by monks when they meditated or prayed, and it was also used by magical practitioners, because when you're wearing a hood, it is actually causing you not to be distracted by outside sights. You are completely in darkness, so you can focus directly on your task at hand, and it also muffles the noise, as well as reverberates your own words back into you when you're saying a chant or a mantra. So basically, the whole idea of a hood is a focus thing. Yes, it works great against weather, and yes, it has a practical application as well, but as far as magical purposes, it is for centering your focus and attention. It allows you not to be distracted by the outside. Very practical application. That is why a lot of different practitioners, such as monks or druids or even witches, would wear hoods, basically to focus. However, there was also a period of time when witchcraft was outlawed in England, and a black robe with a hood was great for vanishing. If you are in the middle of the night because you're practicing something not to attract attention during daylight, if you put out your fire and you throw a black robe over you with a hood, guess what? You and everything inside of the robe is now very hard to see at night. So it was also one more practical way of using it. Robes were big, really easy to throw over stuff, and if they're made out of black and you're standing in the shadows, you're very hard to make out. So that's the purpose of the hood. Now, as far as the staff, first and foremost, there's the practical application of the staff for walking and hiking, to use it as a walking staff to lean on. Then there is also the side of it that it's great for self-defense. A very large wooden stick is very good for fighting off against attackers. However, the magical application, there is also the symbolism behind it, which is the staff was a symbol of authority and power. However, specifically with magical practice, it is a sign symbolic of the connection of above to below. The staff touched the ground and reached up to the sky. It was a connection of all things. It was a way of centering yourself, grounding and centering. Some of you may be familiar with what this is. Grounding and centering is where you literally take yourself and put yourself at the center of all things, connect and realize what you are. You are a conduit of all things. You are part of all things. You are interconnected with everything. The staff is that symbol of that, holding on to a mainstream line, so to speak, of energy running from the ground as well as from the sky, all centering into you and letting you become one with all things. There's also different staff twirls, etc., or different taps that you can do, wrapping it on the ground 3 times, walking in a circle with it. There's other applications for it, but the main purpose behind the staff was a symbol of authority, as well as a way to connect you with all things. So, hopefully that will give you at least a little more information on why people had robes and staves as far as magical practice is concerned.